Ah,
Hello.
what's up? Got to bring that Quran only flavor, man.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. I'm good.
All good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to address just quickly what you said about on a straight path.
Wait,
Okay.
the first one I want to talk about is the sun thing.
The sun?
hmm
Sure.
Can Allah have a son if he wanted to?
Allah can do whatever he wants, but look at this. He's talking to humans. It's what you called him. You called him a son. By definition, a son means a father and a mother. Because
That's not
if you're
true.
saying he's the, yeah, that is what is a son, then what is he? A creation of God or equivalent of God?
Wait, so you're Quran only, so help me out. Do you affirm Zayd as Muhammad's adopted son?
Yeah, it's in
All
the
right.
Quran.
So Muhammad was a father to Zayd. Was there a mother in that relationship?
Like how did he know? I mean, because he wasn't his biological father, so obviously
Okay.
he didn't have him with a wife.
Exactly. So there's other senses in which there's a father and a son without biology involved, right?
But that's an adoptive son, so
Yes,
you're not
but
gonna say he's my son. You always have to you have to always specify. Yeah, he's my son, but he's adopted. You still
no, you
specify
don't. You
that.
don't have to specify. There's people that don't that they don't go around with their adopted sons, making that distinction. Yeah, this is my adopted son. Nobody does that. They
Yeah,
just say
it's
that
still
that's
not
my
his
son.
son. Yeah, but by definition, he's not his son.
No, by
Christians
definition, he
call
is a
Jesus the
son.
son of God. No,
No,
he's
by
not.
definition, he is his son just by adoption. So you
What
can be
does God say in that same
you
surah?
could be a son in a different sense than biology. You acknowledge that, right?
No, but what is the purpose of God telling us about Zayd?
Well, no, that's a different issue. I just wanted to
No,
show
no, it's
you.
gonna answer your
No,
question.
but
It's
it's
gonna
not
answer your
though.
question.
It's not though
It
because
is.
no, dude, pay attention. You said that there's the only way to be son and father is for a wife to be involved, and so even your
Yeah.
Quran gives you an example of a father and a son without a woman being involved.
Yeah, but God says, because what is the purpose of Zayd? God is telling us you can marry your adoptive son's wives because they are not your sons.
Wait,
That's what I was trying to get
wait.
you.
So he
He's not his
changes.
son.
He's not his biological son. How about this?
He's not his son, period.
How about this? Is
Uh-huh.
Mary the mother of Jesus?
Yeah.
Does Jesus have a father?
Nope.
So Jesus is the son of Mary without a father.
hmm
So there's another example where there's a sonship without biological sexual intercourse involved.
But Jesus didn't have a father, he just had a mother. There was biology there. He was created in her
But
womb.
hold on,
There is biology there.
was there a husband needed for that? Was there a husband there?
No,
Okay, so
no,
you
but
said by definition a son requires a father and a mother. That's what you said.
no, a son to a father requires a father, a son to a mother, no.
No,
It
but you
depends.
know.
Are you gonna talk father or mother?
So okay, so now are you backtracking now? So do you agree now that
No,
there
I'm
you can be
not.
a son without there having to be a wife involved or some biological father or biological, you know,
But there
there
is a
can be without
biological
biology, right?
component. God logic, there is a biological component. Jesus was created biologically from Miriam.
Did he have
There
a
has to
father?
be a
Did he
biological.
have a
No,
father?
but that's why we don't say he has a father. He's no
Okay,
son of a father, but a
okay,
son of a mother.
okay. So when you said no, listen, look, I'm just giving you your own
Yeah,
words
go ahead.
back. You
Go ahead.
said that in order to be a son, there had to be a mother involved, a father and a mother. That's what you said by definition. So I just
No.
gave you your Quran. It gives you two examples of a son that has nothing to do with like where that's missing the biological component. Number one, the adopted son Zayd, he's the
Excuse me.
adopted son of Muhammad. Has nothing to do with biology or Muhammad having to have a wife for that. Two, Jesus is the son of Mary without a biological father. There's no father needed in order for him to be the son of Mary. Okay. So you see here that there can be sonship without a wife being involved. We agree there, right?
You're not getting my point. There has to be a biological component. Jesus is not the son of any man, but he's the son of a woman because there's a biological component between him and Mary. A son, by definition, has to have a biological component. That is what God is telling you. There is no biological component. Jesus is not biologically from God. He's the Word of God, created through being. He was. So he's not a son of God. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I
There
don't.
has to be a biology.
Okay. So can God have a son without biology?
Now we're gonna get philosophical. I mean, God can do whatever he wants. But with a biology, no, it's not gonna be called a son. I mean,
Why not?
you want him to take a piece of him and create Jesus? God forgive me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense.
Saying it doesn't make sense doesn't make it false. Just answer the question. Can Allah have a son without biology?
But then what would that mean? A son without biology? What would you call
You
him? You
got to
can't
answer.
call him a son.
It's a son, just like Zayd is
No,
called a
it's
son,
not.
just like Mary
No.
or Jesus is called a son. Can
God is
Allah have a
talking
son,
to.
dude? It's just answer the question. Could he have a son without biology?
I can't answer that because for me it doesn't make sense. Because for me a son has to be biological. That's a definition.
All right, and
Zayd is
so
not
if
the son of
I got you,
Muhammad. That's why you can marry his wife.
I got you. So according to you, it doesn't make sense. You can't answer this because son, by definition, requires a father and a mother. So
Or one of them
Jesus
at
is
least by
not
the
really the
power of
son of
God.
Mary because he didn't
No,
have a
no.
father that put a seed in Mary. So he's not really the
No,
son
no.
of Mary.
No. I
Zayd is
said
not really
either.
not really a son. You can't have adopted children. Forget all of that, right?
No, that's not what I said.
It is
A
what you
son
said.
has to have no. A son has to have a biological component. So Mary, there is a biological component.
Oh,
So
now
he's
it's
not a
now
son
it's
of a
now it's
father.
just biological component now.
I've been saying that. You reread the
So
recording. I've been saying
Zayd
that
is
for the
not
past 10
Zayd was
minutes.
never considered Muhammad's son.
He's not a son of. He's considered like a son. That is the point of Zayd. God is saying he can.
Was he called Muhammad's
Wait,
adopted son in the Quran?
I'll show you. I need to bring you the verse
It's just a
actually.
question. You should know it. Is Zayd Muhammad's adopted son, or was he Muhammad's adopted son?
Yeah,
He was.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
was a son in a sense, correct?
Can you look at 33:4?
No, he was a son in a sense, correct?
Yeah, but God says, and He has not made your adopted sons your sons.
All right.
It's in the
So
Quran.
okay. So your
33:4.
adopted sons are not your sons in what sense?
They're not your sons biologically.
Got
They're
it. So
not your
there is a
sons.
sonship that is not biological, correct?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry,
There is a
because I got a message for
sonship.
it.
There is a sonship that is not biological, correct?
Yeah, but this is what humans say. Look again. You need
So
to see
could
the verse
Allah
to
have a
understand what I'm saying.
son without biology?
But it wouldn't be his son. It would be a creation that you consider his son.
Well, can it be?
Because look
Can
at the
he
verse.
take? Okay.
Can he take a part of him and create someone? Yeah, he can do whatever
Hold
he
on
wants.
one second. One second. What's
Can you
that?
read 33:4?
You know
I
that
need you to
verse? You
repeat
know
it.
that verse where Allah says, if he wanted to, he would have take. If he wanted to take a son, he would have taken it from any of his creation. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah. What would he need a son? And if he wanted it, he would. Let's find it. Yeah, meaning why would he need a son? He already has angels and all
Nobody
that
says
stuff.
that he
He would have
needs a
taken
son. I'm
something
asking if he
special.
wanted to, could he? And you're saying that
There's
you can't answer this
actually
for
no
some reason.
point to like you're not gonna disprove anything with this, you know that.
Okay.
Because it's just how we see it differently.
I don't see nothing differently. I just see it how it says it.
You know? أولو أراد الله أن يتخذ ولدا لاصطفى مما يخلق ما يشاء سبحانه. Yeah, if he wanted a son, he would take him from what he creates.
If he wanted a son, he would have taken it from one he creates. What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, I suppose it shouldn't be biological here.
It wouldn't be biological?
No.
So he would be able to take
Because
a son.
he would take from what he creates.
Right. So he would be able to take a son without biology?
Well, I suppose from this verse we could argue that.
All right. So now we're back to square one. Could Allah have a son if he wanted to?
A son by biology? No. I would suppose not. Unless, I don't know, like honestly. We see differently. Let's skip this, please. Like we see differently.
Skip
you know?
it.
Because there's no point. Like, what are you trying to prove, actually?
You'll see in a second.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
You'll see in a second. So Allah can take a son if he wanted to. And it doesn't even you don't know if it's biological or not, but it says that he could if he wanted to, right?
I suppose.
All right, now here's my question to you.
So God needs a woman. That means he cannot do what he wishes. You cannot tell me there's a contradiction.
You already got it. Did someone put that in the comment section, or did you just figure that out yourself?
No, just figured it out because it was pretty obvious where you were going.
Well, yep, you are usually the smarter among the bunch, bro.
Yeah,
I'll say that all
thanks.
the
Feel
time.
honored. Yeah, but I suppose because he's talking to humans, and humans called him the son of God, right? Jesus. So he's talking to humans
Well,
by our
they said that he
definition of
has a
son.
son. They said that he has a son. They wasn't
Yeah,
saying.
so he's talking to us by our own definition, of a son,
Well,
because he's
no.
talking to humanity.
Well, no.
Yeah.
He's just speaking straight truth and facts. He doesn't have to demean himself to our understanding. He just speaks truth and facts, right?
Yeah, but he's talking to our definition of a son. He's talking to humanity.
I
Our
think
definition
that
of a son means biological.
I think that he himself even misunderstands what Christians even said and Jews said by Son of God. But that's neither here nor there. When it
I don't
says,
think he misunderstood.
okay,
Go ahead.
so here's the question. When he says, how can Allah have a son when he has no wife, no consort?
Mhm.
What does that mean?
That means, okay, you're gonna see that means that he cannot have a son without a wife, then he's not capable of all things.
Exactly.
No, because he's talking to humanity.
And he made a
So it's
statement of
by our
fact to
definition
humanity.
of son. So do you think if it's a human who wrote this book, yeah? So you think that we are smarter than Muhammad when Muhammad,
Yes.
it's him who wrote the book? Yeah, really. So when Muhammad says in the Quran that God is capable of all things, and then you come up with this, you think Muhammad or his people didn't see that, or for generations people
I
who
think
could
that
not
people
figure
did
this
see
out?
this and called him out for it, a lot of it. And I think that, and I'll tell you this right now, and I'll be dead honest with you, my friend. I believe that you, I forgot what your other username was, but what can I call you, bro?
Wazo. It's the same one. I just changed names. I didn't change account.
Okay, so what can I call
Wazo.
you? Wazo?
Whatever you wish. Wazo. Yeah, sure.
Wazo? Okay. So Wazo, I believe that you are probably 100 times more intelligent than Muhammad was.
Thanks, but I disagree though.
Well, or we're showing it right now. It's in his own book, and he has a contradiction here.
No, because it's the way you see son. Because for me, God is speaking to us, so He's talking to us by our definition.
Well, that's fine.
I know what you're saying.
So he's saying that by our definition, he is incapable of having a son. By our understanding of that process.
No, He's telling you think. You're calling him son of God, but God doesn't have a wife.
Well, no,
think,
no.
people, think.
To be specific, the verse
this is
he's
how it's
addressing people who say that he has offspring, that he has a son. It's not calling him the son of God. It's saying that Allah has a son. He's addressing these claims that Allah has a son. Okay. And so his response to this, his objection to this is this: how can Allah have a son when he doesn't have a wife? If he had a wife, then you can say he has a son. But he doesn't have a wife, so he can't possibly have a son.
I see it as in think, people. He doesn't have a partner, so why would he have a son?
Not why would he? Because remember,
this is how I see. How can he? Okay, let's stay with how can.
There you go. It's how can he?
Yeah, because he's talking to us by our definition of a son. It's like when Christians say that we're the children, the sons of God. Yeah. But that is wrong, because Jesus is the only son of God. So you guys cannot be sons of God. You have to be daughters of God.
No, he's the only begotten son of God. This doesn't help you. This doesn't help you, bro.
No, because because the way you say son is different, but the way you put Jesus begotten. So when you say begotten, it has to be biological.
No, it's not biological.
You guys say sons of God because this is how you see yourselves. But Jesus, as you just said, begotten has to come from someone. That was the definition of begotten.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
So God is answering that
it's not biological, brother.
This
doesn't help you. So before you go and you address Christian theology, please deal with your issue, and then we can talk about how Jesus is the Son of God, the begotten. What does that mean? I have no problem going over that. But first, deal with your issue here, because Christian theology won't help you. So please deal with the issue here.
I don't seek to disprove Christians, to be honest. I'm not on that path to disprove Christians. But I'm just saying, you said begotten. Begotten means you have to
No,
come from. That is the
Wazo,
definition of
Wazo,
begotten.
for some reason, you keep going to Christian theology when you have a problem here with your Islamic theology. Don't bring up
I'm
Christianity.
going to, no, I'm going to the Christianity begotten to answer that verse. You're saying
How does
begotten,
that
so
answer the
God is
verse?
saying not, because you're, begotten means to come from, right? You have to have
Where does
come
it? Where
from.
does the verse say begotten son? Where does the verse say
You just
begotten?
said begotten.
No,
When
no,
God
no.
tells you he's not
Where does the
begotten,
verse? No, Wazo, pay attention. In the claims that's being brought to Allah that He's responding to, where does it say that they're talking about begottenness?
because that's what I was saying since the beginning. He's talking to us by our terms.
No,
By
no. Show me
humanity,
the.
son
Show me
means
where it mentions
begotten.
begottenness.
Because that's what son means in human
No,
terms. That's what I'm saying. You
we already
just said
showed, we've
you
already
have to be
established,
honest.
Wazo, we've already
Godlike.
established that there are other senses in which you can be a son of someone. So we've done this. We don't have to go 10 steps backwards now. We're good. We've already established that there's different senses in which you can be a son. Now, when I ask you this about Allah, when it talks about him and his wife, or him not having a wife, so therefore he can't have a son, this is an issue you have to deal with. Please deal with it. This verse
It's
is
not an
showing
issue
that
for
Allah
me.
is incapable of having a son if he doesn't have a partner.
This is not. I don't see an issue there, but it's okay. We're just gonna be circular.
What do you mean you don't see an issue there?
There's no issue for me because you see it as an incapability. I see it as God talking to humanity, telling us, "You're saying he's a begotten son. He doesn't have a partner, so how can you say begotten?"
So all right, here's my question
You're
again.
not being
Can
intellectually
he have a
honest here.
begotten son? Let me ask you that. Can he have a
No,
begotten son if he wanted to?
no, because he doesn't have a wife.
So
So
he's
no, it's an
exactly. So he's
incapability.
incapable.
Unless he creates a woman, I don't know what he does. God
So
forbid,
he's
may no one trust him.
incapable.
Because by human definition, yeah, he doesn't have a partner.
Okay, so he's incapable.
No, he can create himself a partner if he wants and give him the capability to have a son. But as of he is now, no, because he doesn't have a wife.
Now watch this.
We see it very differently.
Watch this little spin I put in this. Did Mary have a consort?
No,
How was she able to have a son without a consort?
because God's power being he was.
Oh, so by God's power, Mary, a human, was able to have a son without a consort. So why can't God, by his own power, have a son without a consort, just like Mary was able to?
Because Jesus came out of Mary. Did Jesus come out of God?
What does that have to do with anything?
Did he come out of God's body? God forgive me, this is
again,
because there is a biological component.
Again, if Mary was able, by God's power, to have a son without a consort, why can't Allah, by God's power, have a son without a consort?
I don't know.
Good
I
answer.
Be able to answer. No, it's not that because I'm gonna get into blaspheming. So I don't want to get there into what God can do if he's gonna bring Jesus out of his body, things like that. I don't want to go to that territory if you don't mind. But it's okay. You won the argument if you wish. For the straight path, if I may, you're seeing it as the straight path in Islam. I see it as God does not deviate from his path. He says in the verse, every creature he takes it by its forelock. He doesn't deviate from his path. What he says will happen, will happen. My Lord is on a straight path. There is no deviation in his path.
Is that what the Quran says, or is that what you're saying?
God says, he's on a straight path, which means he's not going to deviate by definition.
So he himself is also on the straight path like you are.
No, because I'm on a straight path that leads to faith, which is God. He is the end of my path.
Where does it make a distinction between Allah's straight path and yours?
Because God's saying he's on a straight path. He doesn't deviate from what he says he will do. You will live, you will die, you will go back, you will be judged. Read the verse.
That doesn't answer the question.
Why can't you see it this way?
That doesn't answer, because that's dude. How many times I got to show you that I'm more Quran only than you are? You just asked.
No, because
you just wait. Let me just say this.
lesson.
You just asked me, why can't I see it the way that you just said? The answer is because that's not in the Quran. That's why I don't see it that way. The Quran doesn't
God
say
is on
what
a straight path is not in the Quran. God is on a straight path. That means he's on a path that doesn't deviate.
Okay, so where does the Quran tell you that Allah's straight path is different than your straight path, than the straight path that you're on?
Well, there you go. We don't see the Quran the same, I suppose.
Huh?
We don't see the Quran the same way. You have an understanding, I have an understanding, which is
Okay.
fine.
All right. Well,
Yeah, but just to answer quickly, because I have to go down, if you don't mind. Allah
okay.
is not God. We're gonna have to enter showing which book, the Bible or the Quran, has the most. This is the only way. Has the most wonderful signs and proofs, and I can show you many wonders from the Quran. But once you have this topic on comparing the two books, inshallah, I'll come up and we'll discuss it.
Sounds
Like
good.
actual wonders that not many people know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
thank you very much for having me.
Thanks
I
for
have to go
coming,
now.
man.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too. All right.